In Milwaukee, the arts are thriving. Live theater, concerts, fine arts, murals, galleries, sculpture gardens. This city is one of the cultural gems of the United States, and the Milwaukee Theater District is unmatched for accessibility, proximity to live events, and the sheer number of performances. Join me, David Caruso, as we meet the makers and doers while we explore the arts in this diverse and vibrant city. This is Milwaukee Made. Let's go! I'm here in the Theater District in the historic 3rd Ward at the Skylight Music Theater. Skylight has earned praise for its adventurous repertoire, artistic excellence, and its celebration of musical theater. Susan, tell us a little bit about why this is such a special place.
This physiological thing happens to you when you are sitting together with strangers and friends and having a shared experience and watching something on stage. It's a connection that you can't deny.
This is the heart of Skylight Music Theater, the Cabot Theater stage. We produce 5 Broadway-style musicals a year, some brand new, some traditional. People will walk in the door and I will greet them and say, "Do you know where you're going?" They say, "Well, I've never been here before." And I just want to follow along with them to see their expression when they walk into this beautiful, just gorgeous. The architecture, the colors, you're enveloped in whatever action is happening on stage. And it's just this beautiful little jewel box of a theater that we so love.
Ashley, it's always a pleasure. Tell me a little bit about what is happening at Black Arts MKE. What is it all about?
Black Arts MKE, we are all about culturally relevant art, producing and enabling the artists. This year we had a very robust Milwaukee Black Theater Festival. We had 2 main stage productions. One was focusing on the birth of hip hop, and then the other was for Color Girls, which really focused on healing ourselves, right? So I think Black Arts MKE is versatile, and we often get the question, well, is it for me if I'm not African American? And absolutely, because we want every single person, young, old, wherever you are in your life, to know that there is a place here for you. Being able to engage in life and living, that is my favorite part about Black Arts MKE.
This is Milwaukee Repertory Theater. This is the state of Wisconsin's theater. Everybody is invited to the table, has a place at the table. I always say jokingly that I want us to be the theatrical version of the Green Bay Packers. This sort of local-driven entity, but beloved nationally and internationally. We have 3 performance spaces, 4 if you include Christmas Carol, the tradition there of the Pabst. And then you've got a cabaret theater. You've got the venue that we're sat in now, and then a main stage now closed for renovation. Well, complete rebuild. Renovation is $80 million rebuild.
There's a little bit
on site,
happening, yeah.
Milwaukee deserves the best in the country, and it's always had a phenomenal theater for decades, literally more than 70 years, but we never had a facility that could actually support the vision where we want to go. And so now it's going to have a facility that is world-class right here in the city, and it's going to allow us to step up our game artistically and to show the world what we can actually do. This project started in 2018, and to actually see it come through fruition is pretty amazing. It would have been much easier for us to get a new piece of land and build new, but we're the Milwaukee Repertory Theater. We need to be in downtown. This is an exciting place to be. There's more than 15,000 seats here in the Theater District. It's right next door to the Deer District. So here in the fall of 2025, we're going to be welcoming hundreds of thousands of people down to downtown Milwaukee for some great theater.
Gary, it is so good to see you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to talk to you because the venues that the Pabst Group operates are just spectacular in so many ways. What makes it so special for you?
Well,
clearly they don't build new things like this anymore. This type of opulence and beauty and an investment. This building, the Pabst, Turner Hall, Vivarium, High Life, Fitzgerald, all those buildings are different and unique. We hear from our friends in Widespread Panic that the fans as well as the band's two favorite theaters in America are the Riverside Theater and Red Rocks. There's been a sea change in live entertainment. Now our dates are filled with comedy. We're one of the #1 comedy markets in America. I think it's a tremendous success to be able to bring Cirque du Soleil to town. We're also doing a lot of, podcasts. So we're loaded with a lot of really unique and interesting things.
The Rep is well known for its Broadway musicals and also offering audiences the thrill of experiencing world premiere productions right in their hometown.
There's something about new work that is really special. To work on, to produce. The fact that those characters will be defined in the room and those lines will be being said by someone for the first time, that's very special. And, the last 2 musicals that we've done actually were world premiere musicals. Run, Bambi, Run, and then Prelude to a Kiss. They were huge and difficult and complicated to do. And it's a bit like the theatrical version of base jumping. You never know if it's an entirely good idea until the parachute deploys.
Just jump.
Yeah, and hope for the best.
But it's live theater.
But it's live theater, and every performance, by definition, is different.
You are up close and personal to these performances, and you become a part of them. You can feel the emotion. People say, I was moved to tears, or I laughed so hard that, my stomach hurts.
Want to get a better peek behind the curtain at the exciting new construction at the Milwaukee Rep? Check out visitmilwaukee.org to see more about this future theater hub.
Summer in Milwaukee is non-stop. Festivals, live music, and fresh city vibes fill the season. From world-famous cultural celebrations to hidden gem street fairs, every neighborhood is a stage, alive with handcrafted traditions, homegrown talent, and world-class entertainment. Music, flavor, culture, whenever you visit, the Cream City is ready to celebrate. This summer, don't just visit, experience Milwaukee, the city of festivals.
In the middle of the awesome 80s, delicious Sprecher root beer was born in Milwaukee. Crafted with local Wisconsin honey and fire brewed, the result was a rad drink more root beery than any root beer the world had ever sipped, swigged, or chugged. Here's to 40 years of frosty, foamy, ice cream floaty Sprecher root beer. Totally bodacious since 1985.
In the heart of Milwaukee comes a world-class entertainment destination, the new Associated Bank Theater Center. Home to Milwaukee Repertory Theater, where bold performances are born and hit shows of tomorrow take flight. Join us this fall for our grand opening, featuring the blockbuster musical Come From Away, and a season full of stunning shows that entertain, provoke, and inspire. Experience Milwaukee Rep, Visionary Theater, Milwaukee Made.
Next on Milwaukee Made, we're going to visit some inspiring local galleries where the art is more than just fine.
Tell me, what is Latino Arts? What is your mission? Tell me all about it.
Well, we hinted a little bit at it. We have a mission that drives everything we do, and it's twofold. So the first one is to preserve and conserve the cultural heritage of the Hispanic community. That gives us a broad palette to draw from. All these amazing cultural traditions, they come to be part of that collective identity here as Hispanic or Latinos. The other part of that mission, and runs parallel, is to build cultural bridges to invite non-Hispanic folks to come get to know our community. Artists want to communicate an idea, they want to express something, and it's not really complete until it's had a chance, an opportunity to interact with an audience. I get to invite artists from our community and from throughout to come have that conversation and complete their pieces with the community.
Yeah.
Thrive on King is a new space in the Bronzeville neighborhood filled with art, culture, and community.
What is Thrive on King and what makes it so special?
There's food, there's space. It's the bringing the space to the public, making it available to everyone. It's a great central hub to gather. It's a community-led lift to a neighborhood that demanded better for itself. Thrive On is the manifestation, one of the many manifestations of that growth.
The building sits at the intersection of 3 different neighborhoods: Halyard Park, Harambe, which is to the north, and Brewers Hill to the east. This is an area that has deep stories, and we want those stories told not just through people coming in and out of the building, but in the art to represent people's hopes, their dreams. Thrive on King is a tangible example of bringing community together. If you love art and you want to see it from a unique perspective, you got to stop here. We have 21 pieces that were commissioned and artists that have poured in their heart and soul. We have pieces by well-known artists like Reggie Baylor, Evelyn Terry, who's just internationally known, and we have her signature piece in the front display window on MLK. It's just a great space.
This is our annual Day of the Dead exhibit and is focusing on the tradition of ofrendas. It's really a conversation with that person's memory. And that's really at the center of what Dia de los Muertos is about, is remembering that individual. It's that moment of reflection and remembrance that is at the heart of the celebration of life. That's the beauty of Day of the Dead. You know, nothing ever takes away that pain of losing a loved one, but through Dia de los Muertos, people have found a very healthy way to remember them and celebrate them.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite beautiful. And that's really something special because we're celebrating this tradition and keeping it alive in a genuine way.
I think one of the big things that's happening right now that we should be paying attention to is this archiving and getting the historical stories right about people that came from this place. The interesting stories that weave how everyone got here, especially for African Americans through the migration, is so rich. And I'm looking forward to an era of the renaissance of those stories. It's just an exciting moment to be in.
When we have an exhibit, we always have a Café con Arte, and that's the opportunity for the community to come and experience the art through a guided tour, whether it's with me or if it's a solo exhibit, we invite the artist to lead that, and we offer them in English and Spanish. We're very fortunate that we have a coffee partner, Fiddleheads Coffee, provides the coffee, and then also the bakery down the street from us is El Rey, so I pick up churros from there. They're steaming hot. You break them and the steam's still coming out. They're delicious.
Sydney, it is such a pleasure to be here today, and I know that the community was really involved in how this place came to be and kind of to be reimagined.
Right.
How did they influence it in terms of art specifically?
They really lifted up that they wanted to see art focusing on the past, present, and future of Bronzeville. So really focusing on that vitality, heritage, and history in the communities.
Wow. Tell me a little bit about this piece.
This is a Evelyn Patricia Terry work, and it's America's Favor, Guests Who Came to Dinner and Stayed. And so this is really about the story of how America's table has been set by all of the different waves and immigrants to come to our community that make up the fabric of our society here.
Sydney also showed me a work by renowned local artist Reginald Baylor that is now on display at Thrive on King. To learn more about it, go to visitmilwaukee.org.
In the middle of the awesome 80s, delicious Sprecher root beer was born in Milwaukee. Crafted with local Wisconsin honey and fire brewed, the result was a rad drink more root beery than any root beer the world had ever sipped, swigged, or chugged. Here's to 40 years of frosty, foamy, ice cream floaty Sprecher root beer. Totally bodacious since 1985.
When you arrive ready for something good, you'll leave connected to something greater. Marquette University.
Welcome back. Learning about some of the different facets of the art community in Milwaukee has been delightful. But the arts provide so much more than a fun diversion. They encourage us to explore, engage, and understand. Melanie, a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for joining us for this great day of crafting. I can't wait.
Yeah, so this will be an example of our Pinto con Tinto series, which is our own take on paint and sip nights. This is what we normally do for Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. This makes for a great opportunity to have a conversation, create art, but also bring it back to the cultural aspects and the history. One of the first steps we do is we're gonna lay down a base color for the skull, and then we'll start adding some of the decorative elements.
Although we're celebrating the Day of the Dead, it really is about a lot of color, right?
That's right. So ultimately, Day of the Dead is a celebration of life. And what better way to celebrate life than
color?
Color, right?
Yes. Yeah. Ooh. I love that. Wow.
There we go. All right, so now we can take them.
Okay, step one is done.
Step one is done. Look at that.
I love this.
If you wanted to do a perfect circle, and that tends to be one of the recurring motifs in the decorations for Day of the Dead, what I like to use is these lovely little things. You know, fancy piece of technology.
The Q-tip.
Right? The Q-tip, yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with just some simple dots right around the eye.
This is a good tip here. I want to do some like bigger flourishes.
All right, I like that. I like how bold you're being. So brushes always work better when you drag them. So depending on which way you want to go with your flourish, kind of practice it that way.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of the inspiration for the Day of the Dead, the motifs that we see today come from an artist named Jose Guadalupe Posada, who was a printmaker in Mexico. His artwork was discovered after his passing by a lot of very well-known artists, one of them being Diego Rivera, the very famous muralist. Oh. And it was thanks to people like him and others that really brought his work to the forefront. We've done terrariums, we've done birdhouses, painted with the Talavera designs. We love also inviting local creatives to run the workshops. And
That's cool.
Yeah, so we're always
something different.
That's right.
A lot of it is about conversation.
It is. And if you give people a safe space where they can have a conversation, you know, some really amazing things can happen.
Yeah, for sure. Did you save a spot for my mask on the wall?
I'm gonna put it in the next exhibit.
How come your teeth look like teeth and my teeth look like a marshmallow?
Same. It looks like a cloud.
You know what's really great after that's dry? You can outline them and give you a nice little definition. Yeah.
We're gonna reveal our mask. 1, 2, 3. Wow. I think we did a great job.
I think they look great.
This is really, very unique. Each mask has its own character. Mine, of course, is a little extra.
But I love what you said, that each one kind of developed its own character, right? And that's part of the tradition, is that you're kind of channeling the memory of somebody, or kind of like the festivity of the celebration of the Day of the Dead.
It is great when you see a broad spectrum of people having a shared experience in the theater. I think the theater is a great mechanism for social discourse on and opening yourself up to a different point of view. The work that we do tries to evoke and provoke conversation where we can find ourselves. And I think about the play that we did a few years ago, called Things I Know to Be True. And Kevin, who was in the cast, is a non-binary actor. During that, some young people who were transitioning came to see that. Kevin was able to talk and be an inspiration for them when they came back to do Christmas Carol, Ghost of Christmas Past. There was someone in the cast because they saw Kevin on stage and felt there was a place for them at the table.
Theater is a place of activism, the place where we should go home and have those conversations at the family dinner table. I think sometimes we get caught in this bubble, but really focusing on doing challenging pieces that evoke conversation, that continue to challenge our ways of thinking, and promote diversity, promote inclusion.
Inclusivity and accessibility are about so much more than making sure audiences are able to reach their seats. Sensory-friendly performances are a critical part of the culture at Skylight Music Theater.
There is a saying in the special needs community, having a child with autism is like getting on a plane and thinking that you're going to Paris and getting off the plane in Amsterdam. It's still a wonderful experience, it's just not necessarily what you expected. Sensory-friendly performances make accommodations for people with special needs so that maybe the house lights are not kept all the way dark and some of the sounds and surprises on stage are tamped down a little bit. Everybody should be able to experience the magic of theater, the magic of the arts. I'm always so moved by these families who come to the show and they realize, oh, they can express themselves however the story is moving them, that it's all okay and accepted and even encouraged.
Yeah.
My personal story is watching my son watch the tap number in Newsies here in the Cabot Theater. And suddenly there was a whole company of young performers tap dancing on tables. I was a little worried we were gonna go home and find him tap dancing on tables. But he was just so thrilled and moved, and it was like he was watching something magical, which he was.
Yeah. One of the great Milwaukee traditions, of course, is a Christmas carol.
Yeah.
What do you think just makes it so special?
People come, they love the tradition. It's in the Pabst, which is a beautiful space. We have it snow in there, and it's just fun watching the kids reaching for the snowflakes. And it just brings people together.
I don't know. I'm kind of scared about this down here.
I'll be with you the whole time. This is Claire Richardson. He is one of the founders of Skylight Music Theater, and he had a boisterous personality and a really funny sense of humor. And he asked that after his passing, that his remains be kept here under the stage so that everything that happened at Skylight from then on happened over his dead body.
Oh my God.
Apparently he was a whiskey drinker, and we want to keep him happy in the afterlife, and so we keep a full glass of whiskey next to him all the time. It evaporates, and strange things will start happening when the shot glass is empty, to the point where it's part of the pre-show check for our stage managers to make sure that Claire has whiskey.
Come on.
I have my own personal Claire story I will share with you.
Tell me.
During the pandemic, there hadn't been anyone in the building for months. And I had to come here, and I was standing by the elevator, and just because it was an empty theater and I was thinking about Claire, I said, "Good night, Claire," and the light above me flicked on and off.
Oh my God.
I ran down the stairs.
Oh, that
Yes.
like literally gives me the shivers.
I know, but he's a benevolent spirit, and I know he wants the best for Skylight.
Well, here is a toast to Claire, to Skylight Music Theater, and to the fabulous city of Milwaukee. Cheers.
Interested in hearing about more spooky tales from the script? Float on over to visitmilwaukee.org to hear Susan share another encounter with Claire.
Summer in Milwaukee is non-stop. Festivals, live music, and fresh city vibes fill the season. From world-famous cultural celebrations to hidden gem street fairs, every neighborhood is a stage alive with handcrafted traditions, homegrown talent, and world-class entertainment. Music, flavor, culture, whenever you visit, the Cream City is ready to celebrate. This summer, don't just visit, experience Milwaukee, the city of festivals.
In the middle of the awesome 80s, delicious Sprecher root beer was born in Milwaukee. Crafted with local Wisconsin honey and fire brewed, the result was a rad drink more root beery than any root beer the world had ever sipped, swigged, or chugged. Here's to 40 years of frosty, foamy, ice cream floaty Sprecher root beer. Totally bodacious since 1985.
In the heart of Milwaukee comes a world-class entertainment destination, the new Associated Bank Theater Center. Home to Milwaukee Repertory Theater, where bold performances are born and hit shows of tomorrow take flight. Join us this fall for our grand opening, featuring the blockbuster musical Come From Away, and a season full of stunning shows that entertain, provoke, and inspire. Experience Milwaukee Rep, visionary theater, Milwaukee made.
The arts in Milwaukee are broad, bold, and have something for everyone. While what we've experienced in our short time today has been beautiful and educational, we've only seen a few of the brushstrokes that this wonderful canvas of a city has to offer.
I think what makes Milwaukee so special is it invites everyone to be involved. I think it's a very participatory city. People are seeing and experiencing the city. It's building its own identity. We have kept our architecture, our built architecture in the city. And almost every artist that comes to our city comments about the fact that on their bus drive in, they drive past all this history as they go past through our city. They see the beauty of what the city's about. You know what else they see? We've become a city of neighborhoods. You start thinking about Bronzeville and Bayview, thinking about River West and the East Side, and that's incredibly attractive. I mean, David Byrne had a really just intense desire to dig into those neighborhoods while he was in town and to find especially some of the places that used to be the old clubs where some of the old jazz bands used to play and some of the rock bands, including the Talking Heads, used to play.
A lot of our actors from out of town are designers and some of our creative folks and production folks, and when they come here, they're really blown away by this city. I mean, I think we punch above our weight in terms of art, restaurants and bars, and I think it's a hidden treasure.
Oh my gosh, Milwaukee has so much to offer. We have a world-class symphony, we have the ballet, we have an opera company that's been around for over 90 years. We have a professional children's theater, we have a professional music theater, we have a repertory theater.
The best rock and roll, the wonderful Pabst Theater Group, Fiserv Forum, it's the parks, the social life.
It's very pedestrian friendly, lots of little boutiques and great places to stay. There's something to do every night of the week. There's something for everyone and everyone's taste. We're all in kind of close proximity to each other, and you can go to the Theater District website and you can see all of the offers, all of the specials, all of the performances that are available, and it makes it really convenient.
Oh my goodness, we have so many gems. Zocalo down the street, the food truck park. Actually, one of our workshops that we do here is in collaboration with them. We make fresh tortillas and turn them into quesadillas. It's the tastiest workshop you'll ever join.
Yeah.
Casa de Alberto, one of my favorite Mexican restaurants. Down the street, we have some amazing community neighbors like Arts at Large. They always have something really fun going on.
I love open space art. I love our downtown lakefront Sculpture Milwaukee walk, as well as when you go further down the hill and you can see some of the more historical things that have been there for a long time. I love Linton Sculpture Garden.
I think that there is a new feel for what the city is. It's really important that people get a chance to understand the beauty of what Milwaukee is about. And on a nightly basis, there is something happening everywhere. And that's the idea of coming to Milwaukee.